Hi, this is Dave Stagl from Stagl Productions and GoingTo11.com. I recently wrote a couple of articles on attack and release. I'll put links to those in the description. And as I was playing with this compressor in a session the other day, it struck me that this would be a great compressor to demonstrate some of those concepts I wrote about. So this is Waves' model of the BSS DPR 402, which is a VCA compressor. And what that means is the type of circuit in the design of the original compressor was based around a VCA, otherwise known as a voltage-controlled amplifier. If you're new to different types of compressors, there are also opto or optical compressors, FET compressors, and vari-mu or variable mu compressors. There might be some other styles out there, but those are the big ones. VCA compressors are known for being very fast and can be fairly transparent. Other examples of VCA compressors are the SSL bus and channel compressors, the Neve 33609, API 2500, and then the classic DBX 160. So VCA compressors are often favored on drums and master buses. So I've got a rough mix here with a snare drum so we can demonstrate this attack and release of the 402. So I'm just gonna get this thing working hard on the snare and start flipping through the attack and release settings so you can hear what these controls do. First, here's just the snare drum on its own. So it sounds like a snare. So let's turn on the compressor and get it going. So right there you can just hear the difference. I've got the attack set as fast as it'll go, and the release is set as fast as it'll go. So this is, I don't know, that's 50 microseconds, I think, and that's ridiculously fast. So without and with. So obviously this is making everything quieter because we're doing 24-ish dB of gain reduction. I'm not going to make that up right now because I want you to hear what happens when I start adjusting the attack. So we'll go first. Let's look at the fastest, and then I'm gonna go between extremes. So here's 50 microseconds, and then I'll jump to 100. So hopefully you can hear how these different settings just will clip the front transient. So now let's bop through some of these different settings and listen to how it changes. So I'll just go one change with each hit. So right around here between 5 and 10, I'm starting to like what I'm hearing coming through the compressor. But here, let's go a little more. So around in here, what is this setting? So that's about 50 milliseconds there. And these are just stepped on this compressor. Right around here, though, we're not shaping anything. It's most of the sound is coming through. But if I go up to here, I probably am gonna like this 5 and 10. 5 or 10, I don't know which one. Let's go with 5. So now let's jump to the release settings. So we're on about 5 milliseconds right here. And I'll just jump up to this other extreme so you can hear the extremes, and I'll go to about 1 second. See, that's not even releasing in time for the whole hit. Here, let's try 500. So there's super fast. There's 500, which on this compressor is kind of a medium release. And I'm just saying that based on how far the dial goes around. If that's middle. This is kind of middle-ish. So let's just go through these different settings. So I'll go fastest and then I'll slow it down after this fill. Oops. Try again. So what you can hear as I'm going slower, it's actually emphasizing the transient. If we're up here, we're actually hearing distortion because it's so fast, it's square waving the back end of that snare. I think I'm going to go with 50. So this is too much compression for, well, probably too much compression, more than I would normally do. So I'm going to back off the threshold and get the gain reduction down to more where I kind of like it. So let's go. Probably somewhere in here. So now let me bypass the compressor. I'll just take it in and out. I'm doing about 6 dB of makeup gain on it, so hopefully this should be the same volume. Here, let's get through this fill. So there's the original, bypassed. So hopefully you can hear how that compressor is giving the drum a little more snap, a little more punch. So there's attack and release settings at work. Now let's throw this in context. I'm gonna turn some other stuff on that I had running here. I did a little EQ after it, so that brought the volume up. Let's get my kit spank going. And open my effects, and here we go. So I'll just bypass the compressor. I'll take it in and out so you can hear it. So to me, when it's compressed, the drum has more snap. It has a little more punch. It kind of it cuts better in the mix. Without it, the drum just feels soft, and it just doesn't have the same kind of aggressiveness that I want on a snare drum. And the way I'm getting that is by tweaking those attack and release settings and doing a little bit of compression and making it happen. So hopefully this gives you some ideas on what you can do with attack and release. I suggest get some compressors and start playing around and listen to what the differences those settings can do. Thanks.